Another thing? Oh my gosh, the Sentinel's Eyes coming out of the bin? Well, folks, this might prompt a concession. Greetings, everyone. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that you are here. Today's Jank is in Historic, and we are playing Mardu Superfriends, trying to get some white, black, and red planeswalkers into the battlefield. And, you know, I've always really enjoyed the archetype of Superfriends. I think there's a lot of fun to be had here. I'm not entirely confident on this specific build. We'll see. I think there's definitely some slots that I'm questioning. I think things like Kaya, very, very strong. I kind of wanted a few more because there's so much graveyard stuff going on in Historic right now. I couldn't find a place for it, so I don't know. We'll have to see. That said, I'm really excited because Chandra Torch Defiance, very, very strong. Like I say, Kaya, very strong. Angrath Flame Chained, one of my favorite cards all time. I just love this card so much, and getting an opportunity to wield it, always a good time. Liliana's Death's Majesty, quite strong, and being able to bring back things like Plague Crafter to cause people to sacrifice stuff, Kroxa for Kroxa-y things, you know, and all that kind of stuff. Very fun, but also just adding zombies to the board, quite strong. Just a one-of, though. Liliana Dreadhorde General. In general, just a very, very strong planeswalker, but with cards like Kroxa and Plague Crafter that sacrifice themselves when they enter, whenever a creature you control dies, draw a card, right? So we draw an extra card off of any of these. Part of me wants another Kroxa because of that, but we'll see how we feel about it at the end. Chandra, Awakened Inferno. Also one of my favorite cards all time, folks. Any opportunity to play this card, I want to do it. This spell can't be countered. Take that, counterspell decks, right? And then putting emblems on your opponent that kill them over time. So in general, yeah, then we have 7 main deck board sweepers, as well as a little bit of early game interaction. So that's pretty much the deck. Let's take it out for a spin and see how we feel about it at the end. All right, folks. Here we are up against a foreign language name that I don't even know the language of. So good luck, opponent. We're going to go ahead and lead on Godless Shrine. Tapped, of course, because our opponent led on Temple of Deceit. We don't want to draw only lands here. That would be tragic. We are going to go ahead and get down a Blood Crypt because, darn it, it doesn't do anything. Oh boy, our opponent on Sultai. Oh my goodness, with Risen Reef, that is terrifying. Well, we're going to get down our Oath of Kaya right now, shoot the Risen Reef, and pass the turn. Another Risen Reef. Holy crud, folks. It's definitely a good thing that we got rid of that. Well, at this point, folks, we don't actually even have double white yet. We've drawn all of our Blood Crypts. I don't think we have 4 Blood Crypts. I think we only have 3 Blood Crypts. Yeah. Well, we're just going to keep trying to handle things. Unfortunately, our opponent gets back a Risen Reef now. That is decidedly not great. And Chandra's sweep ability, 3 damage to all non-elemental creatures. Dangerous here. All right, Guy Ruda coming on down. Sure enough. Oh boy, and they're a Neoform deck as well? Good lord. All right, Questing Beast. It is white mana. Please, white mana. You are not white mana. All right. Well, Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger, come on down. Take a card out of our opponent's hand. It was Hostage Taker. Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hamburger, come on back. Did I just say Hamburger? I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, all right. Return all of those. And cause our opponent to do some more discarding, folks. Come on, we need a white land. We have a million white lands in this deck. It is unconscionable that we have not had one yet. All right, folks, believe it or not, we're going to block the Questing Beast instead of the Gyruda. because this attack telegraphs that they've got another Gyruda, almost certainly. All right, so they're going to blink the Risen Reef. Sure. Draws a card. Okay, thank heavens. All right, we're going to fire off the cast-off here because we do actually have enough to cast the Realm-Cloaked Giant side, and a 7/7 Vigilance is pretty strong in most circumstances, I would say. All right, opponent just passing. Well, we're going to try and draw some removal out of their hand. There is a Chandra that can come down from our side of the board. Opponent going to tap it down, sure. All right, opponent just passing. All right, combat. We're going to try and get them to use their mana here, indeed. So if their removal spell of choice is like Vraska's Contempt or something, it is useless here. Of course, this does have the text on it, cannot be countered. All right, we're going to shock this in down to 8, which is a little scary, but we actually want to be able to kill Risen Reef or something like that, should our opponent have it. All right. Mass Manipulation to take our Realm-Cloaked Giant. All right. Fine. Yeah. I'm going to blink the Realm-Cloaked Giant to make it return untapped. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead, tick up Wrath of God, pass the turn, leave up our Bonecrusher Giant here. Yeah, we are on 8. Our opponent's already shown us like questing beasts and things like that. So I would not describe myself as excited about this situation, but darn it, we are, you know, we're getting there. Oh boy, that's a good one. All right, so let's... You should normally always activate your Planeswalkers first. This time, it's a little questionable because maybe we were supposed to... Oh boy, that's a great one. Yes, please. All right, we're going to get rid of some of those cards that can mess up our life. Yep, and pass the turn. It was possible that whatever we drew off Maze Mind Tome might change what we wanted to do with our Planeswalker, but okay, sure enough, Blood for Bones. That was not a card I was expecting. All right, Gyruda to the battlefield. And Risen Reef to hand. Gyruda does some milling. Indeed, and whiffs? Good heavens, Risen Reef enters. Yeah. Causes a Fabled Passage to enter as well. Gyruda gets blinked again. And gets a Kroxa. Which, you know, I wouldn't describe myself as excited about, but it is what it is. Oh boy, that's a good one. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and cause everybody to sacrifice 2 creatures. We're going to go ahead and exile a Gyruda and a Risen Reef. Go up for a 4th emblem on the opponent. Sure enough, opponent cracks Fabled Passage, 26 cards left in library. Yeah. Goes after a mountain. Wow. Up to this point, they've just been Sultai. Oh, I'm not Locust of the Royal, not Into the Royal. That's a different card. Going to knock our Kaya down to 5, or down from 5 down to 4, because of course they don't want to die to the exiling. These things are acceptable. Well, we're going to go ahead and draw, I guess. All right. Thassa going to blink the bird so that there are food tokens available. All right, let's bring back a Kroxa. Need to exile a bunch of lands. Heartless Act and Arathagod from the bin. Force our opponent to discard that card. All right, it was a Neo form. Fair enough. Well, then let's go up. Let's go up. Yeah, let's just get rid of some of the cards we're kind of scared of here. Yeah. Opponent cracking some food. Cracking some more food. You got it. We're actually just going to get down a Bonecrusher Giant, and rather than get the extra emblem, we're going to get rid of this Omnath, because I think that is the better play here, given the current set of circumstances. If our opponent wants to tap down all our attackers, that's fine. They have to spend a lot of mana to do so. Oh boy, Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. Draw another card. Wow, they're milling us? That doesn't make much sense. Yeah, all right, fair enough. Either way, folks, that was good enough for the victory. Feels good, man. Feels good indeed. All right, folks, we are back looking at this hand, and yeah, I mean, all right, I guess we can keep this. We don't have any Planeswalkers, but we do have some control, and we have, you know, all of our colors of mana. We will need another black source if we're going to fire off Bloodchief's Thirst for the big casting cost, right? It requires double black, but, or bring Kroxa back from the bin. But these are all future us problems. For now, these are, our hand functions just fine. All right, well, yep. I assume our opponent is on blue-red auras. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of the All Seed of Life's Bounty. We don't want our opponent being able to pile a bunch of things onto it, like Curiosities and Curious Obsessions. So we will handle the thing. Kroxa, not too good against... Oh, boy, interesting. I wonder if that just means they have the blue source in hand, or if maybe they're on mono-white auras. That would be interesting. All right, opponent bends a Sentinel's Eyes. All right. Okay, yeah, all right. They did have the blue source, and they're passing. Interesting. Well, I guess 2 can play at that game, opponent. We will pass as well. Opponent didn't even bother adding Lurrus to hand, which makes me concerned that they might have some kind of interaction counterspell, something like that. All right, Core Spirit Dancer coming on down. And a... Staggering Insight. Okay. Fair enough. Core Spirit Dancer becomes a 3/5. Sure. Well, we are going to Realm-Cloaked Giant to be more mana efficient here. Get rid of the Core Spirit Dancer. Pass the turn. Sure. Opponent adds Lurrus to hand finally. Alright, well, we will pass. Opponent gets down Tranquil Grove, gains a life. Cast Lurrus and the protection creature? No. Fair enough. Alright, well, let's Kroxa Titan of Death's Hunger. So that we can do something. Chandra's very tempting, but I really do feel like we need to get rid of, or we need to hold up instant speed interaction to get rid of the Lurrus for as long as it takes. All right. Opponent going to cast Selfless Savior. Well, we are going to kill Lurrus while it's on the stack. Sure enough. Yep. And the opponent passing. Sure. All right. Let's Oath of Kaya. Kill off the Selfless Savior. We don't want them to be able to put their auras anywhere. And then, believe it or not, we're just going to shock this in and go for the Bonecrusher Giant and pass the turn. We're going to try and get a clock on them. They do not have infinite threats, right? Now that their Lurrus is gone, there aren't too many ways of getting those cards back out of the bin either. So it's not outside the realm of possibilities for our opponent to just not have a creature to play. And a 4-power attacker can get the job done relatively quickly. All right. Bonecrusher Giant come in there for 4. Opponent on 21 points of life just takes it down to 17. All right, we're going to play our land, get down Chandra, Torch of Defiance, and immediately go up, which we will decline to cast, obviously, and pass the turn over to Raul Casado. Raul produces a Selfless Savior from hand. And looking at that Chandra Torch of Defiance, thinking things over. Yeah, Chandra can take down for 4 damage, opponent. That is a thing. Our opponent could have something like Karamitra's Blessing that gives indestructible, things like that, but darn it, those don't do much, or they don't do anything if it's not enchanted already. Okay, so, opponent goes with Selfless Savior, and or all that glitters on the Selfless Savior, and all that glitters again. Fabled Passage getting cracked for a Plains? It is. And another thing? Oh my gosh, the Sentinel's Eyes coming out of the bin. Well, folks, this might prompt a concession. Oh my goodness, and we draw the Heartless Act? That is fantastic. All right, so let's go up. Deal the damage. Destroy the Selfless Savior. And yeah, we could Wrath of God. It would kill our Bonecrusher Giant, though, and I think keeping the 4 damage on the board is a very, very important thing here. Our Chandra Torch of Defiance may be able to ultimate, but it's also strongly possible. We just need to fire off the -3, right, to kill a creature here. All right, looks like Sentinel's Eyes coming back out of the bin. Sure enough. And another Sentinel's Eyes coming out of the bin? Sure. All right. I'll see the Life's Bounty, a 3/3. Looking at that Chandra Torch of Defiance, thinking about the Bonecrusher as well. All right, and the turn is passed. Let's go up. See what happens here. Oh my goodness, Plague Crafter. That was a great draw, folks. Because no amount of indestructible or protection or anything is going to save the All See to Life's Bounty now. We're going to go ahead and prance in there for 4 damage. Opponent at 5 life. Chandra ready to ultimate, which will deal 5. Opponent has to know that. All right. SRAM Senior Artificer. Looks like Sentinel's Eye is going to come out of the bin. Probably just trying to draw cards here, I would expect. They really want to draw into probably an Oblivion Ring or something like that if they have some of those in the deck. Looks like they didn't get what they needed, so Sentinel's Eyes looks like it might be coming back yet again. Ornithopter. And so not Sentinel's Eyes yet. They were definitely hovering it. I don't really know. I hope they're not doing math. Okay, Sentinel's Eyes does in fact come down. Opponent draws another card. Only blue mana now. All right. We're going to cash in Chandra Torch of Defiance and cast Chandra Torch of Defiance. 5 damage going upstairs for the win. GG, opponent. GG. It was an honor. Yeah, I am not sure what they were looking for there. I believe it had to be an Oblivion Ring or something that they were looking for. But Chandra Torch Defiance Emblem, folks, quite difficult to beat under the best circumstances. But GG, opponent. GG. Alright, I guess. This is fine. As long as our opponent, as long as these cards matter, they, it looks pretty good. We are going to get the Cliff Trap Retreat in to start because it is a tapped land. The Swamp makes the Isolated Chapel come in untapped, but of course, this requires mountains or plains, and this is neither. Oh boy, interesting. Interesting indeed. Oh my word. Well, all of this is bad. I think we're going to be firing off Heartless Act either way, but I think it's a little late to be bolting birds. If they've got specifically Nissa, we will wish we had bolted birds. But, there's only so much that can be done here. Alright, yeah, I was going to say, one of the more likely scenarios is Questing Beast itself, which we can, of course, kill with Heartless Act. Opponent going to get in for 4. Yep. We dropped to 16. Opponent only has 2 cards left in the hand. Come on, folks, please. For the love of all things holy, we do not want to get stuck on lands here. So, we need to get to this Realm-Cloaked Giant. What we need is our opponent to not have it all. Right, that's what we need. Just a short little prayer for our opponent to not have it all. The double Llanowar Elves draw is very, very explosive. Admittedly, it does put you down several cards. Okay, yeah, this is actually not the end of the world. If the last card in hand is like Embercleave or something like that, oh boy, thank heavens. Yes. I was going to say, that would be decidedly not great, but it is what it is. The Wrath of God coming off top, very, very strong. We finally have a little breathing room. I'm not going to lie, I was really beginning to sweat there. Alright. Bell token, coming on down. Opponent Khazad-dû Valley enters tapped. So yeah, folks, I think we're just going to get down a Mazemind Tome, plan on drawing, or we're going to draw a card too, so that we can try and hit a land drop. We definitely want one of those. Oh my goodness. Yes, Savai Triome gives us the land we needed. All right. This feels a little bit like... barely skating by. Oh my goodness. All right, well. Oath of Kaya, number 2. Come on down. We're going to keep that one, I guess, but kill the 1/1. Plague Crafter going to enter and sacrifice itself. We can't run the risk of our opponent just having another Questing Beast or Llanowar Elves or something like that to give a 1/1. That's a lot of life to lose. Getting down a Liliana Dreadhorde General against what our opponent's up to there, typically very, very strong. Oh boy. The Angrath Flame Chained, also very strong. I wonder if it's possible Angrath was just better because they're holding the 2 cards in hand. It's possible. My initial inclination here is Liliana first, because Angrath can sometimes make them, have us steal their creatures and then sacrifice them, which is very, very strong. And coming out of the hand. Opponent won't even see it coming. Okay, Scavenging Ooze, Burning Tree Emissary, sure. All right. Scavenging Ooze going to eat the Plague Crafter. Yep. Get a counter. Going to eat their own, like, Questing Beast or something? Nah, Lovestruck Beast, sure. Okay. Yeah, indeed. This is kind of the situation we're envisioning. We will absolutely throw our 2/2 in front of the Scavenging Ooze. We will not think twice about it. If the last card in hand is indeed Embercleave, we're still feeling pretty not great about that. Yeah. But, you know, you do what you can do. Okay, it is not Embercleave. Holy crud. Thank heavens. All right. Yes. Okay. Opponent. Khazad-dû Mammoth. Coming on down, sure. All right, our turn. All right. Angrath Flame Chained. We're going to steal your Khazad-dû Mammoth. Yep. Make a land drop. Yep. Then we're going to attack for 5. And then we're going to tick Liliana Dreadhorde General down. Everybody sacrifices 2 creatures. Yep, we're going to draw a card. Ah, yes, folks. All right. Yeah, and we got him! That was a roller coaster. The early game, folks. Our deck was definitely betraying us a little bit. And not gonna lie, had me on tilt just a little bit, trying to not lose my good mental game, you know? But as it turns out, we were able to bring home the win. Good game, opponent. Good game. All right, folks, welcome back. I am glad to be back. Holy crud, folks. I had a great time playing the deck. Admittedly, it didn't do great. I'm not even sure we made 50%, so we're going to have to do a few tweaks to the deck. I do play it on stream tonight, so I'd like some advice on how to come up just a few percentage points. Like I say, it's possible having more Plague Crafters and Kroxas would be very strong. They come back with Liliana's Death Magistry. They draw us cards with Liliana Dreadhorde General. But they also, more importantly, kind of interact with the opponent, making them discard or making them sacrifice. Very strong. I had a number of games where I was struggling on mana. We're only on 25, so maybe that's the problem. Maybe we need to go up to 26. I could see that. Either way, some of the cards really did overperform. Things like Chandra Torch Defiance, always very strong, almost surprisingly so. Just every time you cast this card, it does everything. And that's kind of the reason I was thinking 25 might be enough, because Chandra can just ramp us up into 6 from 4, right? We don't even need to draw our 5th land. I don't know. Not quite the way it worked out a number of times. So we'll see. Maybe that's what we need to do. But let me know down in the comments below how you feel about it. You know, I'd love your input. And like I say, you know, since I'm going to be playing it tonight on stream, I'd rather not get beat up for hours on end, right? So, other than that, you know, appreciate you watching. Appreciate you being here. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time.